everybody, Dan God of Thunder here, back with a new patch notes. They're kind of doing it this weird now. They're going to do like a bonus balance, aka, oh shit, we fucked up at 7.1 and here's some emergency patches. And then 7.2 is coming in a couple of weeks. And that's going to include the release of the newest character in the game, Mulan. We'll get to that, I guess. We'll get to that a little bit later. I'll scroll back to this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new skins that are coming soon, including 4 coming soon. Great, thank you. Just what we wanted. So even though they're only going to do one main balance patch, they're going to do another patch just so you can buy more of their stuff, which is great. Let's see. Some bug fixes. Healing was not being affected by increased healing effects. That's interesting. Conquest. Titan crystals now block all projectiles. Shouldn't really matter. Just the geometry between the split mid-harpies camps for people trying to blink or jump. Okay, cool. Player-made walls that collide with the shrine will no longer be destroyed. Cool. Tended to stay on the conquest map until a team takes it. Once it's been successfully taken after 15 minutes, it won't respawn. Okay. So apparently, that's a new change where there's going to be one final totem of coup that's going to stay at 15 and will just not respawn rather than it vanishing. Anyone who's played enough solo lane has run into the problem where it would just like die. If you're trying to like race to get it before one last time before it goes away, we've all had the time where it just like goes away mid-run, and it kind of feels bad. She would lose controller functionality. Good. Morgan, more problems. Bastet, whatever. Honey has the 4-second properly listed. Okay, not a big deal. Vampire bats for what provides buffs. Okay. He couldn't dash after King Arthur ultimate. That's weird, but cool. A lot of little changes with little balances, which is good, and which it should do. Cursed Orb is only giving 15 MP5 now. Either it was always 20 and they nerfed it, or it's at 15 now, which it always was. I'm not sure which one. I thought it was always 20. It always read 20, and I don't recall a listed nerf to Cursed Orb, so we'll see. Project Olympus. Hey guys, did you know we have esports? No? You mean 75% of the people that watch Season 5 Worlds didn't watch Season 6? Okay. We're going to have the voting back, though. So, please watch. We're getting rid of Mixer because they stopped giving us money because that was a losing venture for them. Bonus balance. So this is coming out in a week. Toxic Blade and Witchblade are getting their cost lowered by 100 because it was supposed to. Bastet is getting a lot of changes. The first one is her scaling off the pounce is going from 100 to 90. Not a big deal. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to like reduce her late game burst, but maybe not the thing you're definitely using. But that being said, pounce does hurt. Andalier is still fucking broken. Still fucking broken. I think he's losing like 30% power off Yallarhorn, no longer provides protections. The scaling is going from 130 to 125, but it's still going to be 150. But his attack chain is still going to be 1.3, 1.3, 1.5. That seems fair. I think his basic chains are fine now, but all of his ability scaling is still fucking busted. He's still going to be top pick, top ban. I think these changes prevent him from being so ludicrously good that a coach should be fucking fired for letting him get through first pick if his team doesn't have first pick. Odin losing 5 damage at all ranks on Gungir's Might and 20 damage off the throw. So that is 40 damage off of Gungir's Might. And Ring of Spears is doing 20 less at all ranks. Not a big deal. Odin, I think, is still going to be... I think he's going to go back to being a bird bomber early game, but Gungir's Might is still very good. It just gives him so much versatility. You can use it for attack speed, he can use it to stun, or just get a homing shot off. It's great. Susanoo, I think I'm the only player who can't play Susanoo, losing 20% scaling off of his passive. Thor is getting a pretty heavy nerf to his Berserker's Barrage. It's doing 20% less damage, and it's going to be 2-second cooldown increase, going from 8 to 10. That's actually a pretty big nerf. So he's really going to be doing maybe 50% physical power or more or less damage than he used to. He's going to do a lot less with the Berserker's Barrage, so the double tap's going to be more critical for him to secure his kills, which means he doesn't have as much safety. So I think this is warranted. I think if they nerf him much more, he'll get pushed out of the meta by better junglers, though. Yamoja is going to do less damage. Good. 1 second in all ranks. Good. Mending Water Shield is getting less scaling. Again, good. I think this emergency fix is good. I don't understand the Susano one, but I've never understood any of his nerfs. So I never thought he was oppressive, and I never thought when I was playing him he was overpowered, but I might just suck at Susano. So these are all of the patches coming in 3 weeks. 25th. This is going up on the 6th. Today is the 5th, so sorry. Alpha Harpy is going to get enhanced Fire Giant backdoor protections more. So it's 12.5% reduced damage to structures with no minions in the area. Previously it was 25 while having. Okay. So it sounds like then if you have the enhanced Fire Giant, you're going to strip away more of the Phoenix armor, which is good. Duo Harpy is being more rewarding. It's still very strong, but more rewarding. Vision Shard. This is good. They're going to give you pop-ups, and it's going to flash new upgraded relic. So basically, they're going to send you a very clear reminder. I'm sure we all, and I've been watching some good players, who have forgotten to get Vision Shard's replacement of anything after level 12. I've done it too. I think it's just we're not used to seeing something there. We're used to the yellow thing. And now when you upgrade Vision Shard, the upgraded relic won't be on cooldown, which is a good change. I would have been also okay with at level 12 the ward staying in place from the Vision Shard, but Vision Shard goes away instantly at level 12. You cannot place a new shard. That shard ward still counts against your cap. I think that's what they should have done. That way it's back to what players are used to seeing, but I think this is okay as well. I shit on high res a lot, but I think having something to make it very loud and alert and clear to say, hey, you need to upgrade this, is fine. Hand of the Gods is now going to be consistent with your casting type. Okay. Spectral Armor, little bit less protections, removing crowd control reduction, adding 200 health. For those of you who don't know what it is, Spectral Armor reduces the bonus from a critical hit by 50%. So instead of 200, it's 150. I think that they should have kept it as is, kept the CCR, no health, but it should also reduce it by 10% for all teammates within 70 units. So it's an aura that gives a little bit of crit reduction to teammates. Not a lot, but it would reduce it by 10%. So instead of it being a 2.0 multiplier or 2.3 if they've got Deathbringer, it would be a 1.9 or 2.2 multiplier, which I think that's more interesting to play around with, to give your team the ability to maybe get a little bit of that protection from critical hits. Maybe that's overpowered. Maybe that would kill crit. I don't know. I think that's something interesting to try. I think that's where they should have gone with it, as an interesting way to make support players who this is really aimed at want to get something to protect them and their team. Amuzin Cobb is getting his hives, so he's going to get 10% more attack speed off the hives at late game. I think this is good. Amuzin Cobb was kind of thrown out of the meta after some of the interactions with his bees and on-hit items got changed. I think that's a good change. Bastet's getting nerfed by 10% in the emergency patch, but all cats will take 5 hits from minions instead of 1 before dying. They still take 2 hits from gods, so now 10 hits from minions. And the route's going to be clarified, so it's still only going to be a half a second, but it said it was a second. Camazotz is getting most of his reverts undone. just getting the Devour Leap increase. We'll see where that puts him. I think he's still going to be good, but I'm just a bad Camazotz player. He's still mostly going to be an aggressive solo, kind of lacking it in the CC department, though. Still, Kukul Khan is actually going to lose a lot of his damage, and his Zephyrs are going to have less slow. But the way the tick supply apparently are supposed to be really still like a net buff to him. But he's almost going to be back to where he started, but not quite. I think he's going to go back to being a very high floor, low ceiling mage. Whether that's something that this meta really wants, I think that's still being hashed out. Kumbhakarna, he's losing 50 damage and 10 damage level per level up off of the epic uppercut. That's a lot. He actually had good power in his kit overall, and he's pretty solid. He's still going to get the utility off of it, but with Gods providing so much utility on top of a banish, 200 to 560 damage just doesn't cut it. Like Heimdallir does like 3,000, no, not an exaggeration would be to say his ult does about 1,200 damage plus a 4-second banish. Kumbhakarna's is a shorter banish and less damage. Neja is going to do much less early game off the Universe Ring Toss for how much prop shred he does. He's going to lose also, I think it's 40 to 120 base damage in return for... Wow, I need to get the calculator for this. So he's losing 120 damage off the Windfire Wheels, but he's gaining 20%. He's gaining 20% physical power. So that can't be right. No, that is right. Because he's gaining a net of 20%. But he's losing 30 damage per hit base. But he's only gaining 5% physical scaling. Is that seriously 600? That's the break-even point. Yeah, they're nerfing Windfire Wheels even harder for all classes. They're killing him for mage if you're playing him support. I don't think he can't support anymore, and I don't even know if he can play assassin. I don't think Neja is... I think this kills Neja. This needs to be 40, I think. Or 45, maybe? Maybe give him 5 power... Or I would say maybe put it at 40 and nerf this. The numbers don't really work very well if you nerf it further. But they need to make the break-even point somewhere around 200 power to where it was. And if they can't do that, I don't think that Neja is playable. I don't think you'll see Neja. That's going to be my bold prediction from this patch. You don't see Neja after this anymore. Not in serious high-level play. A few masters will still pick him up, but he just doesn't do anything. He just doesn't do anything anymore. Nike, 2 seconds off the leap. Doesn't matter. The core problem with Nike is she has no way to stay in a solo lane fight. They took away the health and chalice combo, the health pot chalice combo, so now she's stuck with the chalice and multi-pot. She has no sustain anywhere in her kit. Her ultimate does not provide long-term sustain, which is what she needs. That's her inherent problem, and she does not have enough in her kit to make up for this. 2 seconds off the Valiant Leap. It's still a very long cooldown. Not enough. That's the problem with Nike. Raijin, he gets 5 more damage per shot off of his 1. Not a big deal. I think if you like Raijin, he's going to feel a little bit better to play. Set, doing more damage off the main skewer, 5 more per rank, and 2 more damage off his basics. Set is a very hard character to play. I think this is fine. We'll see if he takes over the SPL, but he's not going to be a problem in a regular player's games. From Mana, he's going to get more shield of his maximum health, which is fine. And he's also going to get, because you would usually see people buy Frostbound or Hastened Katana on him to try to capitalize on Colossal Fury. They want to emphasize the aggressiveness of it. And so you're going to get 5% movement speed. I think this might pull people more towards the Frostbound Hammer, especially with the percentage health per tick. Because, well, if you're not losing movement speed and you're already able to stick to people with the haste effect, Haste and Katana doesn't matter too much. Like with this new piece, but Frostbound Hammer does synergize much better with it. So I think you're going to see more Frostbound Hammer from Mana because you're going to get the movement speed buff and you're going to slow on a basic. Shiba Lanke, increasing the AoE spread of his Branching Bola, which is good. And Darkest of Nights is going down to 90 seconds, which I think those are both good. I think Shiba Lanke is okay. I'm not really a hunter player by trade, but I think he was in an okay spot. I don't mind them buffing him, but yeah, the stun mattered. The stun definitely mattered. Okay, new kid, new Mulan. So raise your hand if you thought that she was just a Disney creation. I'm stupid. So yeah, I did do some research. I learned a bit about the character. She originally was actually supposed to have like a scarf that was come up to about here-ish. And instead of specifically plated tit armor, she just had a single, like a standard breastplate like this guy over. Which I think is a better design because historically she was supposed to be... so the 5-second story of Mulan is that she's from around like the year 500 AD is the parable, Confucian parable about loyalty to family and how it trumps loyalty to the state. So the emperor's... Not sure what's going on in my house. The emperor says, hey, everyone has to provide one male to serve my army, but the only males in Mulan's family are her dad, who's really old, and her brother, who's very, very young. So she says, I'm going to join instead, so neither of them have to. I'm going to pretend to be a guy, and so she does for 12 goddamn years. And she goes off to war, and all of the soldiers she fights with, and she becomes one of their leaders, they never realize that she is a he. Comes back, and then says, told you guys, I'm actually a girl. And then she never fights again. So, which is why it's really fucking weird that Hyrule says, hey, we decided to make her a version where it's after her fighting days in the army, so now she could be who she really is. Bullshit. Also, ancient China would not have had the ability to make a breastplate like that for her. You know, one with each individual tit. Nor would they have ever done that. It's fucking weird. So that's one of the reasons why if you see all the internet controversy, why people are so up in arms about this character in particular being transformed, especially after they released a fairly androgynous version to, hey, look, she has dem titties, we can sell skins based off of dem titties. But Smite is a free-to-play game, and they need to sell shit, so, oh well. Okay, so, passive training arc. Whenever she hits things, she only gains 20% of it from minions. She gains skills. She also gains a buff every 10 seconds that reduces the cooldown of the next non-ultimate ability used by 2 seconds. 14, 16, and 16 scaling down to 12. Kind of average cooldowns. I don't think she has anything very long or short. So, Cross Strike, when she uses her sword ability, she hits twice, deals damage, and then the first rank at 600 damage done to gods, or I think it's, 3,000 to minions. So that's really where you're going to gain most of it. Jesus. She gains an attack speed increase of 25%. Holy shit. The next time she gains a third hit. And then she gains 5% attack speed permanently when she has it mastered. So this is a 4-second 25% attack speed. Jesus, that's a lot. Hits 3 times. That compares favorably to Rend from Nike. Not quite as much damage, but much, much, much more utility. Spear Thrust. Spear hits forward with the spear, striking everyone in front of her, dealing damage and slowing all enemies hit. I think you're actually going to level up this level 1, because 1, she heals for up to 3 enemies hit, so she has sustain in the lane. Okay. Second time, she hits a second time further in front of her, dealing bonus damage if she's hit the same enemy twice. I assume that applies to minions too. In the Mastery, she gains 5% physical power for free. Grapple. She readies herself and fires an arrow with a rope attached to it. If she hits an enemy god, they're stunned, takes damage, and she gets pulled towards them. So it's basically like a Naja. It's like Armillary Sash, while dashing and hitting them again for extra damage. Arrow damage is caps at 270 plus 80. This is much stronger than Armillary Sash, which I think is 190 plus 100%. 350 plus 70 is just a stronger Armillary Sash with a slightly shorter stun. I think Armillary Sash is 1 second at all ranks. Protection increase, and she can use it to dash to walls. So this is just a better Naja Sash. Wow, okay. Then Divine Mastery. She brings forth her entire arsenal, dashing forward with sword slashes, dealing damage and rooting enemies, plural, for 1 second. If she hits an enemy god during the dash, Mulan uses her new divine energy to knock up enemies with her spear before firing a large projectile attack with her bow. Dealing damage with any part of this ability gains skill towards the weapon used. So, I'll just assume you can only hit once with the sword. I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, this ability is fucking ridiculous. So it sounds like there's a banish component to this. I don't know how long the banish is. They don't tell you. But this is 320 plus 260 plus 350. Whoops. 320 plus 260 plus 350. That's 930 base power if you have nothing. And Mulan gets a 5% attack steroid. She gets a 5% attack bonus for free. And it does 150% physical scaling. This is not a warrior. This is an assassin. Mulan is going to be a incredibly potent assassin who is essentially Naja but strictly better. She has the same utility off of the banish effect with Divine Mastery, just better. She has a pull self to stun like Naja, which is his main initiation, unless you blink ult. But hers gives her protections, and she can use it to get herself out of trouble. Naja cannot. She has healing in her kit. She can heal up to 225 plus 30% physical power. Yeah, this is an assassin. Mulan's an assassin. She's also going to be a broken assassin when she comes out. So, she is going to be probably as good as Heimdallr. No questions about it. She's going to be almost as good. So, but what do you think about it? Let me know what you think about the patch in the comments below. Make sure you hit like, subscribe. There is a subscribe button, I think, that away that's floating up way over there. I can't reach my camera over that far, but you know what I mean. There's going to be a video right over here, and there's also going to be a video right up there. Take care. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all next time.